everybody, and this is Cal from Cal's Corner Ministries. Want to just welcome everybody in here today, and we got to pay the bills first. You know about paying the bills. We got to pay the bills first. We want to thank Bill and Ariel from Sherpa Leadership Group. That they're the ones that produce all this, and they're the ones that make Cal's Corner Ministries rock and roll. So we want to thank you to them. And today our special guest, and it's really been fun just getting to know you here, is Jim Duer. So welcome in.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, appreciate you doing this. So let's kind of jump right into this. Tell me the early years. Tell me about the early years of Jim Duer.
Oh, man. This is going to feel like a therapy session. Comes from later on.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Well, I'm the oldest grandson, and I have a sibling, a younger sister. So it seems like growing up, I was always trying to do, like I was driving when I was 10.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my dad had let me drive, and so I was always doing a little bit more than what I should have been doing, probably.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. It has served me well over the years as far as being an entrepreneur.
Mm-hmm. Where did you grow up at?
Okay, in Spring Lake. Grew up in Spring Lake, out in the country.
All right.
Loved to hunt and fish. I was always doing something like that, depending on what season it was.
Yeah.
Had a beagle my whole younger life, so
okay.
I would have to listen for that beagle to figure out where it was, so it was running a rabbit somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'd go get it and take it, grab it, hunt it.
Okay.
Did that all through high school.
Yep.
All that fishing. We lived real close to the Grand River. I could ride my bike there and do all kinds of different stuff down there.
Mm-hmm.
Carp spearing, and bass fishing, bluegill fishing, all that stuff.
Fish the bayous quite a bit?
Yeah, we're right on one of the bayous, Bruce's Bayou.
Gotcha. Tell me about your parents real quick.
My parents have been married 58 years now.
Okay.
They were real young when they had me. They were 20 and 21.
Mm-hmm.
So they were young. They were still pretty wild when I was young. And
okay.
But it was great. We had a cottage up by Big Star Lake.
Yeah.
Growing up. Got to do a lot of cool stuff out there.
Okay.
So they're still married. They winter in Florida. And, live here on Stonegate Golf Course now. They've kind of followed us north since we moved north. They moved a little closer north.
Awesome. Mm-hmm. So you kind of hit the early years a little bit here, middle school, high school. Did you play any sports or anything, high school?
I did. I tried golf. It was only one season. I liked to golf.
Yeah.
On a team, I couldn't stand golfing in the fall. It was windy and rainy, and I should have been in the marsh.
Amen. I knew we were going to go there.
Yeah. I did that. I played baseball all my life since I was 8. Loved to do that. Played in high school. But that was about it. I tried football for a little while, but I was too small.
Okay.
So I didn't do that for very long. I think freshman year, and then I quit doing that.
Yeah. Got out of high school. I know you went to college. Tell us about college.
Yeah, went to Michigan State.
Okay.
Had an amazing experience, college experience. Talking to other people, they don't seem to have that experience. I still have friends from our first year in the dorms.
Okay.
There's probably a dozen of us that still get together.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we really have a really neat group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Had a great experience there. Started out thinking I could be an engineer, and calculus showed me that I couldn't do that. Didn't understand calculus.
Yeah.
Never got through that. So I ended up in construction management, which I really like to do. I wanted to do that either way, somehow. So now I'm a builder.
And a very good builder, because like I was telling you earlier, as we're sitting in this beautiful home here on the shores of Lake Michigan that you can see in the background, I have buddies who are builders, so I kind of know what, I'm not an expert, but I know what to look for.
Yeah.
And I came in and looked around and went, oh, this guy's pretty good. Yeah, there's no, everything's tight. Everything's tight. Yeah, this thing's tight. This is awesome. Good to see that. So, how long have you been building?
Building since the year before I got out of college, so since 90.
Yeah. Was your dad a builder?
He had built houses.
Yeah.
He grew up working for builders or doing concrete. They had a boardwalk company in the 70s. The 70s economy ran that out of business. And then he did flat work and concrete up until we started Duer construction.
Okay.
So he was concrete superintendent in Muskegon at Tridon.
Oh.
For, I don't remember how many years, but while we were getting our building company going, I was building houses. He had a business partner that was developing. So they were developing together, and I was building houses for them. And eventually, we ended up just going out.
Do you have a certain type of house you like to build? Ranch, 2-3 story. I mean, what's your favorite house to build?
I love to build ranches.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
And more I love to build on slabs.
Okay.
That's really I like doing that.
Yeah. Yep. Where's the furthest you've traveled to build a house?
I haven't gone real far.
Yeah.
We were in Spring Lake, and we'd go to Grand Haven. Never went as south as Holland. Never went any further east than Marne. But up here, probably Baldwin, I think, is the furthest north.
Okay.
I think Baldwin's probably a little north of here.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. I learned to fish on the Little Manistee River.
Did you really?
And Baldwin.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's where so we were talking fishing a lot earlier. That was that's my passion is fishing.
Oh yeah.
That's where I learned with a Johnson Century reel, a split bamboo pole.
Oh yeah.
There's a little hook with a crawler on it and a split shot a foot above it, and yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's simple. Simple. But back then fishing was easy. It was simple. And now it's so much more complex, it seems like.
It can be, yeah. And that's what I like about Florida. You just need one rod and you go fishing. Basically.
Yeah, if you park over a wreck, you don't know what you're going to get. What led you, I know you said your dad was a builder, and I know you're still building, but what was the one thing that led you that said, okay, I want to do this. I want to build homes. I want to build nice homes. Was there a point, was there something that said, this is what I'm passionate about?
Yeah, that's a good question. I can't pinpoint exactly a time.
Okay.
I always really liked figuring out how we're going to build stuff before I build it.
Okay.
So it was always processing that, you know how you sleep on something.
Yeah.
It seemed like I was always doing that. And my dad was doing the same. We were always just dreaming up the next, how we're going to do something, how we're going to build. So I couldn't say. I mean, really, once I found that major at Michigan State, that's when I really got excited about building.
Okay.
Because before that, I had just done concrete for a while. I worked on one of the screws. I tried on board walls and flat work and stuff like that. Yeah, and we dabble in residential a little bit, building, but not until we started building houses.
Gotcha. Any injuries from building?
Nothing major.
Okay.
No, never really had a fall. Shot myself a couple of times, probably.
Well, the nail gun?
Yeah. That happens once in a while.
Yeah.
Shanking
especially the old ones.
Yeah, well, I try to get my guys not to keep it on a bump nail because it'll just rapid fire if you don't want it. So we don't do that anymore.
Yeah, one of my when I was I must have been about 20, and I had a buddy of mine. His family built homes. They had 3 boys, and so they were building with their dad back in the day when air guns were starting to come out.
Yeah,
and he bumped it with his foot and shot a 3-inch nail right into his foot, and then you go to the hospital for that one.
Yep, I had a guy that worked for me and shot his toes together, shooting subflooring, wrecked a brand new pair of boots.
Yeah, that's definitely a rut row.
Yeah, that was tough.
Yep. Nicest home you've ever built? Where's it at? I
think I live in it right now.
Oh, do you? Okay.
I feel like it.
Well, you guys would build nice homes. I mean, you build great homes here, but I can imagine building one for yourself.
I built a house for my wife and I right when we got married. Actually, we moved into it right after our marriage, so I was building it at the time. But it was, I don't know, the vision was more family and, just a kind of nice neighborhood, but it was different. She doesn't remember having much input on any of it. But on this one, I just said, I'm going to build you a house. Yeah. And she had all the design input, and obviously she decorated and all that. Yeah. So that one, I would say that house is
okay.
the best.
Tell me a little bit about your wife a minute,
Oh,
since we're talking about her.
I tell you, God saved me through her. I was really a selfish jerk when I met her, and she's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
She's just the love of my life.
Yeah.
Amazing. What can I tell her? I mean, she's running on words. Just amazing.
Yeah. How old were you when you met her?
I was just about 30, or I was just when I turned 30.
Oh, so
Came out of a bad relationship. She was doing the same, and God joined us up.
Gotcha.
We've really grown together in our faith.
Yeah.
Our relationship with God. It's just an amazing experience.
How'd you meet her?
Oh, I don't want to go into that.
Oh.
I kind of stole it from a friend.
Okay. I guess because I met mine in a crazy place. So.
I don't have a really great story, but we do have a fun story.
Yeah. It's okay.
Yeah.
For another time.
We did a rollerblade. We went rollerblading together, and we just knew that we were going to be together.
Yeah. Awesome.
And it wasn't long after that things got cleared up enough where we got together, engaged, got married, and honeymoon baby, and away we go.
Yeah, got it.
Mm-hmm.
Got it. So I'll tell you what, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back here with Jim in just a minute, but we're going to take a quick time out here. Once again, thank you to Sherpa Leadership Group, and we'll be back in 60 seconds. Hey, if you're a guy, especially 18 or older, we would love to have you at one of our ministries. So White Lake Men's Ministries, I do this with Pastor Craig Smith out of Whitehall. We are the first Saturday morning of every month in Whitehall at Hanson Hill Waterfront Grill. It's behind Bell's Furniture. 7 to 8, we're going to do our best to get you out of there at 8 a.m. so you can have the rest of your day to go do the things that you got to get done. The second Saturday of every month, we have Grant Men's Ministries. Grant will be 18 years old this May. And which is amazing. That's going to be 18 years. And we meet the second Saturday of every month, 7 to 8 a.m. Once again, we're going to get you out of there early so you can go on with your day. And we're just a group of guys that get together. Come as you are. Do not get dressed up. Please don't. Get your blue jeans, sweatshirt, a hat. Come as you are. That's how we are. We're just a bunch of guys that get together. We always have a speaker come in. They share their testimony or a story, how God has worked in their life, so their walk with Jesus is easier. Love to have you. Please join us some Saturday. First Saturday, White Lake. Second Saturday, Grant. And would love to have you there. And welcome back here with Jim Duer and Duer Building and Design. And we're going to talk about that here a little bit later. We're going to talk about that a little bit. I got a couple more questions, but there's this thing called a view. Look at pretty special. And then, if you live in West Michigan, you kind of almost take it for granted.
Yeah, really do.
I mean, that view is just incredible. And you got the nice high bank, so you don't have to worry about sliding in right away. So the night to pay you rainy back. But so you have started, and you kind of operate now, but you started this thing called Lake Michigan Senior Living. And this is the complex right here. So let's talk about this complex. So I want you to tell us about it, and then I want you to tell us about what led you to start this complex.
Okay. Well, I'm still processing how we got here. Right?
Yeah.
Seems like my story changes a little bit every time, but it's always the foundation. God gave me this vision. There's no way it came out of my brain.
Yeah.
So it was 2016, I think. I was a co-pastor, or not co-pastor, a youth pastor at a church. It was a startup. It was a small church, and it was starting to fizzle out. And it was time for me to find something. Asking God, what is my next ministry? Where am I going?
Mm-hmm.
This was dying out, and I was building while doing this, while being a youth pastor, and I don't know, searching Zillow one night, I found this property, and I just felt like I've got to go see this property.
Yeah.
And we drove up here. The guy that worked with me, we drove up here on a day in February, and it was all vacant. It had been vacant for, I don't know, probably 10 years. Bank owned because of 2008 and everything like that. Walked out on the bluff there, and I've heard guys say if you have a like free flow of thoughts that come to your brain while you're praying, then God's probably saying something in that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was assisted living. Like, these banks are not for someone to use this as a beachfront or anything like that. This is just an awesome view, and who could appreciate a view more than seniors, aging seniors? And that was the vision that I had. And it was originally 6 lots. It was divided into 6 lots. There were going to be 6 condo lots.
Yes.
So I started thinking it was going to be 6 buildings, but through zoning and all that, it only ended up 4 lots. But that was the vision: assisted living, where people can spend their last years viewing heaven. And here's the thing: I've tried to explain this, or the second day of creation, when God separated the waters from the waters. I still have not been able to tell that story like how I saw it and get somebody to respond like, oh, when God said he was going to separate the waters from the waters, and he was going to create the expanse he called heaven. So looking out there, it looks like it's water and water, and somewhere in the middle there's heaven. Mm-hmm. That was what I saw. That was like Bible verse that came to me. And I've been standing on that, believing God put us here. Yeah. I really believe he has.
Yes. Oh, yeah. No,
We got us here. And he's taken us through all the ups and downs and craziness of starting a business. It's not easy to break into the assisted living business. Mm-hmm. So that's been, it's been, has its ups and downs like any business, I'm sure. Yep. It's just been really, really quite a journey. And I've always had to just keep falling back to, I know I heard you, and I know this can't be the end, when we're just about out of money and this thing's looking like, what's next? You'd come through and you'd keep going. Mm-hmm. We got this house full after, I don't know, I want to say we sat a year or so with just like one resident, losing like 10 grand a month. All right, Lord, we don't have much more time. And then filled up, and then the next vision, keep going, keep building. Yeah. Build house 2. And we built house 2. We drilled the well out front. Just about 100 yards probably from the well in this house. Okay. Drilled it. It was in December, I want to say, or something like that, while we were building. They couldn't get a good amount of water. Yeah. Right. So my well driller had to pull out because he didn't have the equipment to go deeper. Hired a different well driller. He didn't come till April, and my house was just about done. And we didn't have water for that house. Not enough water in this house to like join them. And then, just... I don't know if you want me to go into that one.
Sure, go.
It was,
we got time.
That was pretty significant, watching him move on that, because the well was set up right in the front yard. So this well driller, he was here a week, and he kept drilling and drilling, and he was down 430 feet when he finally broke through this block of clay that we parked on and got into some water. And it was in the last 10 minutes of him before he gave up, because it took so long to drop that much pipe down in a day.
That's a long way.
Yeah. And by the time he gets it all back up, so he was just about ready to give up, and he broke through, and it was just, he just saved us.
Yeah.
He showed up when he had to show up.
Mm-hmm. And he does.
And he does.
And he does.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I was telling Phil the other day about our prayer walks that we've done around this place.
Mm-hmm.
That was very significant, man. I probably should see when you do rabbit holes.
I like rabbit holes.
Right.
Sounds
Yeah.
Go
So I
down.
got to back up a little bit. So while we were at one house here, just about to shut the doors, like we can't do this much longer.
Mm-hmm.
A friend of mine, and I really believe God was redeeming my bachelor's degree in my first 4 years of college that I didn't treat very well.
Mm-hmm.
I probably would have been tossed out of Michigan State if I would have had to do another term because I was not a good student.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say that was a redeeming moment.
Yeah.
So I did that. Really have a lot of questions for God on that when I get back.
You're good. So do I.
Because I don't know what that was all about because I thought I was going to be a minister, but then I did that youth ministry, but there wasn't any money in that, so I had to keep building, 4 young kids.
Well, you were redeemed when you asked for forgiveness the first time. You probably know that.
Yeah. Before we had nobody asking about us. Nobody knew about us.
Mm-hmm.
So God moved and I don't remember how many months it took, but we got this place full and cash flowing. Moved us on to the next building. Yeah. So that was one prayer walk. This next prayer walk was me walking around for that well.
That's Lord.
What am I going to do, Lord? This house is done.
Yeah.
I'm ready for my occupancy permit, but I don't have water.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up too much because there's a lot of us out there like you, and God uses you and your past for now to go forward, spread the word and doing what you're doing. So. Back here again with Jim Duer here from Duer Building and Designs, kind of our final segment here. Lake Michigan Senior Living here just south of Ludington, and I have one eye looking at you and I have one eye looking at that, because my daughter will tell you, and like we talked about earlier, I love water, I love fishing, so, and I look out there and I see 4 boats, and I'm going to guess probably running, 120 feet. They're all probably got downriggers down.
Probably.
If you see them, they're all right there in the line. So that must be the hot spot this morning.
Well, there's a tournament going in Ludington this week.
This weekend. Yeah. Is that the veterans one or not?
No, it's the offshore challenge. Maybe it's veteran. I'm sure there are veterans.
Okay. Because I know there's always a big veteran. That's probably not a tournament, but there's a big veterans event every year. That's on Michigan Outdoors every year. Oh, sure. Yeah. So I for some reason, my mind jumped to that. But yeah, there is a big tournament this weekend.
Yeah. We were out there this morning and at 6:30, I think, is when I think they can leave the harbor at 6.
Okay.
So by 6:30, they're down there by us in Pentwater and just getting blasted by boat weight. Because that's some good fishing down there on the little saddle point. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, good for you. I'm kind of envious there. Can't say jealous. I'm envious. Yeah. I'm envious to have that. And just right there, that view is spectacular. And like you said, for the seniors that live here, a little slice of heaven right there.
That's right.
Yeah, so much better than living in Grand Rapids and on top of each other. And your view is, the neighbor over to the side. This view is a whole lot better. So, kind of get back on track here. So one of my big things is since I've been doing this and Phil has helped me with this and Ariel, Phil's really been a key component of this, and that's live intentionally. And I've been doing some 30-second clips or B-rolls or whatever. These guys, there's all these technical terms, but I'll be driving places and I'll quick shoot a video, about live intentionally. And it's kind of become a little bit of my motto here lately, live intentionally. And you're doing that. Right, right here in Pentwater and here with up here south of Ludington. Tell us a little bit more about that live intentionally, the way that you are. And, you're intentional with your walk around the property is intentional. Just pick that up a little bit more here.
when you guys brought that up, I did think about the way I start my day. My best days are when I have at least an hour, hour and a half before I have to leave the house, where I get into my Bible. I read a chapter every day, so I read the chapter, and then I prayer journal.
Okay.
It keeps me focused, and it seems like if I just try to pray out of my head, I more on rabbit trail, just go squirrel kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But when I journal, it grounds me and it keeps me focused, and it really, it's just a blessing to me. That's how I start my day.
Yeah.
So when you say live intentional, I think intentionally getting up, hearing what God has to say for the day, and obviously taking them with me, not just leaving them on the counter, but it's how I start my day.
Mm-hmm. I talked, I think, within the last couple of weeks about, and one of the quick little 30-second videos I made about, it was about on prayer, and I spend like I said in this, 90% of my free time is behind the steering wheel of my pickup.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a big, going and hit my knees, and I just talk to him. I'm alone. I just seem like I just talk to him constantly.
Yeah,
when I'm driving.
Yeah. My wife is the same way.
Yeah, she?
Yeah. Parking spots, anything. Just talking like you.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, you've got your friend with you.
Yeah. Or you find a parking spot and you think, okay, why am I parked here? So why, or something like that. So, we were talking earlier, and your first house that you built had 4 bedrooms in it. Mm-hmm. And you have 4 kids. I want to talk about your kids too, but the intent you intentionally built this house with 4 bedrooms in it.
Yeah. That was interesting because we were Christians. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say we were followers at that time. Mm-hmm. And really, we were living in sin. We were living together. So there really wasn't any reason for God to bless us the way he did. Doesn't seem like, but when I built that house, I just had this picture of having our kids share rooms.
Okay.
So I just did a 2-story, but I did 2 bedrooms, big bedrooms upstairs, and a nice big bathroom. And that was it. I said, our kids are going to share bedrooms. Mm-hmm. And then, down in the mudroom, when you walk in from the garage, I built 4 cubbies, 4 lockers. Don't know why. I just divided up nicely. So I did 4.
Yeah.
And God blessed us with 4 children. Bang, bang, bang in 4 years.
Yeah. 2
boys, they shared 1 room, and then 2 girls, they shared the next room. And it was all God. There's no way, how that happened. Just God blessed us.
Yeah.
And then to this day, it's just so cool to see my boys went to Michigan Tech, which is a long way from home.
But smart. Oh, you go to Tech, you're smart.
Yeah.
Male, female, I don't care. You go to Tech, you're smart.
But they lived together.
Did they really? Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. And my girls went to Ferris, and they lived together.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're just blessed.
That's
amazing.
That's amazing. Wow. Is there a specific story? I think maybe I touched on that. Like, let's talk about your kids. Here's where I want to go. Rabbit hole, right? Rabbit trail. Right. How's your kids' faith life doing without being too personal? Where are they at in there?
Yeah, they're all believers.
Okay.
We're not traditional churchgoers is probably the problem when, and I don't know what I did wrong, or if I did something wrong as we trained our kids to love the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
It hasn't been about, I was always very intentional about making Sunday the first day of the week, worshiping God, going to church. Sad to say that wasn't how they went through college. They would occasionally go, but that wasn't how they started their week. So I wish it were different.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it was something that I did along the way or what, but they're believers.
Yeah.
They love the Lord. It's a weird night if we don't pray after dinner. We always prayed after dinner.
Yeah.
And it still is just, if something comes in the way of that, it just doesn't feel quite right.
Mm-hmm.
So, that's where we're at.
Yeah, gotcha. Let's talk. Is there anything you want to talk about? I've been kind of sitting here asking the question. Oh, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
There was a turning point, like in our faith. We had that pre-grace to building that house, and then we got married. And our first Christmas, my mom gave us a Bible, and that was I'd had Bibles before, but when I got that Bible, something in me said, "You got to read this thing." And I obviously started in the New Testament. I was going to start in Genesis, but New Testament, and I would read, until I got tired every night in bed out loud. So Karen heard it as I was reading it.
Okay.
And obviously that word is powerful. And reading God's thoughts, they just permeated our hearts. Yeah. And that was really where we started. That was like our foundation.
Gotcha.
And then from there, we had my grandfather died, and I wasn't really far into reading Bible and faith, but I knew I had to read something to him. So we did that, and that got my extended family kind of together in a Bible study after that. And that was when Karen really took off with her faith.
Okay. Favorite book of the Bible?
John.
Okay. Why John, if I could ask?
It's just a love letter.
Yeah. A lot of people call John that, a love letter. Yeah.
Yeah. It's got to be John.
Yeah. People, when I do this, sometimes I'll ask guys that, then they'll say, what's yours? I always say Proverbs. Because it's all laid out. There's so many. Yeah. I asked a guy from Monaco I did a podcast, or we did a podcast with here a couple months ago. He's 81 years old. He's still farming. And I said to him, I don't know. Mm-hmm. I said, wait, what are your favorite books? He goes, Proverbs. But he says, I love Ecclesiastes.
Really?
Yeah. And I was like, call me up. Really? Oh, yeah, everything. And then he just went into this little doctrine, for lack of better words, of that whole book. And it was just fascinating to sit there. 81 years old, sharper than sharp mentally. And physically he's in great shape. But that was cool just to sit there and listen. And as he just kind of walked right through that book. That was pretty cool. Yeah. So anything else you want to add?
When I tell the story about the vision, it was a process. Mm-hmm. Like I said, with the prayer journaling, that was when I was prayer journaling at night before bed. And it was every night asking God, did I really hear that right? And if so, what's my next step? And it was months, of just taking the next step. So it wasn't like all of a sudden it just appeared, obviously, but it was just a process of seeking God and chasing after him. And that was how I don't know. When I say I heard from God, I'm sure I just continually kept hearing, just move forward. What's the next step? Mm-hmm. Put somebody in my path that I needed to talk to, or the next step. Yeah. In this, since we were 55 miles away or something like that, building these down in Spring Lake, when we got these going, that was when it just all of a sudden kind of the same thing. I got this vision of we need to live closer.
Yeah.
And I found this piece of property that I want to say it was like 5 years. We were up here camping. There was only one house here. Mm-hmm. We were camping at Muir State Park, and we were on our boat fishing, the boys and I, and we went past this lot that was for sale on Pentwater Lake. And I just had this vision or this dream. I want to live there someday. Yeah. Karen came up the next day, and we took her for a ride, and we looked at that, and she said, "Oh, wow, that's great." But, the back of her mind saying, "How in the world are you ever going to do that?" And, just persistence, just keep praying and asking God. And he provided that lot. We got that lot 5 years later, had the money to do it. And like I said, I built my dream house.
Yeah. One thing you said earlier, or I wanted to ask, you're talking about Christ, what's next? I want to say, be careful what you wish for.
Yeah.
Because it's like, wow.
I'm kind of in the middle of what's next right now with the project.
Yep.
It seems like he's just taking me project to project.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you, 18 years ago, I listened to Christ when he said, start this ministry, which was Grandman's ministry.
Yeah.
And I never envisioned, Grant to White Lake, to Big Rapids, to Holland. There's been 2 others that have started off of that, but they're not really going anymore. Then there's been 2 women's ministries that have been birthed out of that. So, and I'm the least likely person that you would think would be the person that does this.
Just obedient.
Yeah, and that's just what it was, just being obedient, saying yes.
Yeah.
So when guys would call and say, hey, or they'd come to Grantman's Ministries, hey, we want to start this in our area. Can you help? Yeah, I'll help you. And I'm going to give you 40 names of guys, of speakers, so you don't even have to worry about speakers because I got all the speakers for you. So, Big Rapids, Holland, those guys, I've been able to help them so much with guys that say yes, and then all of a sudden this idea that comes out of him, Phil, from Sherpa Leadership Group and Ariel, but Phil's the guy that says, hey, you should start filming these. And I'm like, I'm not tech savvy. I drove tractors and combines and, custom harvesters for a living. I'm not tech savvy. I can't do this. I know where my strengths and weaknesses are. This is more my strength. That is my weakness, all that stuff there. So, yeah. And then, but then all of a sudden saying yes. And Phil says, you need to do this. Ariel now probing, them 2 getting together, kind of, lovingly ganging up for me. You need to do this, and then all of a sudden, it's just, And I don't want to. I know how many views we had in the month of June, and I'm not gonna tell you on air how much it is, but it was a lot. And when she came home, when she came out of her bedroom and told me, because I asked, I had tears in my eyes. Went, there's no way. There's no way this. I was born speech impaired. I struggled in school. I've overcome cancer, all this stuff. There's no way that it's that much.